We often hear about culture in the corporate sense of a company's shared values and vision for the future. It's spread by HR, and in the best cases, it's modeled by the leadership. But every individual in the workplace has their own unique culture, shaped by things like race, ethnicity, class, education, ability, sexual orientation. We bring all this cultural stuff with us every day. Whether we recognize it or not, we have expectations and make assumptions based on our beliefs, experiences, and values. So it's important for employees at all levels to develop cultural competence. Cultural competence starts with a commitment to diversity and inclusion. Inclusion is about creating an environment in which there's harmony between the unique cultures of a diverse group of people and the organizational culture. Company culture is often articulated in tenets, pillars, and value statements that help the organization develop an employer brand and also identify who's a cultural fit. But without articulating a clear commitment to diversity and inclusion, organizational culture can reinforce a monoculture that feels imposing and inflexible. In today's multicultural world, this can hinder progress, stifle innovation, and have a negative impact on competitive advantage. In order to foster inclusion, we have to evolve the monoculture monologue to include multicultural dialogue, validating different perspectives and broadening the scope of what's possible both for the employees and the organization ensures the organization evolves in the right ways. To develop cultural competence and foster diversity and inclusion requires organizations, in particular those in the leadership, to be authentic, accountable, and responsive to changes both internally and externally.
America is changing. In the past 2 decades, racial and ethnic minorities has had rapid growth. The Hispanic and Asian populations has experienced significant growth, just partly due to immigration. And the non-Hispanic white population, while still a numeric majority, they've grown much more slowly.
Well, 3% of the population now identifies as more than one race. I mean, literally half the population is part of a minority group now. I mean, it's especially true, like, say, in the West, in California, or South in Texas.
Yeah, but diversity is more than just race. Gender identity, sexual orientation, biological sex, religion, class, these are all aspects of diversity. Also, attitudes, beliefs, and views that people have because of their life experiences. You can't have a successful global business if you don't recognize the uniqueness of everyone.
Improving multicultural relationships is just critical for strengthening and building communities and to increase the hiring and retention of people from diverse backgrounds and just to combat racism and discrimination.
Don't forget we're all different. We all come from multiple cultural influences and we all work together.
Diversity, it creates opportunity as well as brings in new perspectives. It also gives a voice to historically underrepresented groups.
We have to nurture the diversity both within our own lives as well as truly within the organizations and the communities that we're a part of. We can reach out to people and we can truly try to understand where people are coming from. I believe it to be true that, we have to examine our own biases first and stay positive. And then we can really seek to understand the perspectives of people who are different from us in terms of race or culture or other differences. Showing this and establishing these relationships is the first step in establishing lines of communication to exchange ideas, valuing our similarities, and then also really valuing our differences.
Diversity leads to fresh ideas, increased responsiveness, and more effective management. In a global environment, diversity is essential to competitive advantage.